So Josh Emmett versus Mirsad Bektic occurred last night at UFC Fight Night 155 on ESPN Plus 13 Sacramento. And it was a decent fight while it lasted. Because it was a first round KO to Josh Emmett with a jab. TKO. It was a weird stoppage, but it happened. It was the night of many weird stoppages, to be honest with you. But they happened, and to be honest with you, the guy... Everyone was complaining about the stoppages. Not everyone, but it was a common complaint about the stoppages tonight. But likeliness is the guys who were hurt would never have recovered from being hurt. Like, when you really look at things, you know, like, would TJ Dillashaw have came back from Cejudo? That stoppage was worse than any of the stoppages tonight, other than maybe, I don't know. But either way, Josh Emmett gets it done. Looked okay before the stoppage happened. I mean, he was throwing some shots. They were missing, but he was throwing. He was showing that he's still dangerous. He was making Mirsad Bektic, like, second guess some of his advancements. And obviously, Mirsad Bektic comes in. He was doing real well. He was landing some leg kicks. He came in. He was getting inside the pocket, which I thought was a very good idea. Because Josh Emmett's power comes from him fully extending himself. Real fucking dramatic movements. And you can't generate that same power in close. At least Josh Emmett doesn't do that for his shots. Josh Emmett likes to wing huge looping shots to get his knockout. So Bektic was staying in the pocket and getting out of there real quick. Nice and safe. And I saw him rip a couple shots through the guard. Emmett has a bit of a Gaethje guard when he goes in. A real Muay Thai tight guard. Hooks and uppercuts get through. And Bektic was throwing them accordingly. Got a couple body shots. And Bektic was looking real good. I picked Bektic to win this fight. I thought he was going to finish it in the third. Or get the unanimous decision victory. But I didn't know that he had the chin that he has. I mean, it's like you're fighting at featherweight. And you don't even cut that much weight for featherweight, Bektic. But the jab knocked you down and sent you unconscious. The thing is that people are saying Emmett just has that much power. Well, first of all, Emmett has like 6 KO wins and he has 15 wins overall. So he's not a big knockout guy. Even though he does have big knockout power, before he hasn't been able to land it. I think now he's learning how to land it effectively, which is the difference that we're seeing here. I know fucking Emmett has big power. Okay, I'm not saying he doesn't. He does have big power. But that jab was... Maybe it just threw off Bektic and he just knocked himself... I don't even know, because that jab, the foot wasn't even planted. Emmett didn't even fully extend his arm. He had no shoulder behind it. He kind of just sort of leaned into a jab and it sent fucking Bektic into a fucking downward spiral to the ground. It was weird to me. Like, fair enough if Todd Duffy knocks you out. Like, I seem to remember Todd Duffy's UFC debut. He knocked a guy out with a jab. You're heavyweights. I can understand that. Light heavyweights, it would be unheard of, but, you know, it's fine. A jab can knock someone down or out. Okay, I can believe that. Middleweight, nah, I don't really see it. Unless you're Yoel Romero, I don't really fucking see it. Welterweight, and then featherweight, you're getting knocked out with a jab. It's kind of rough. And I know Swanson's been dropped with a jab at featherweight. But Swanson's a more aging fighter than Bektic. Bektic was supposed to be this young guy, 13-1, now 13-2. He was supposed to be coming up. Yeah, he's taken some damage, but he really hasn't been, like, hurt that much in his fights other than the Darren Elkins fight. So I was like, okay, he's going to be fine. I feel like Bektic's been knocked out in camp a couple times. That's what it stank of to me. I feel like Bektic may have been hurt in camp, but either way, regardless of all of that, Josh Emmett on his record will have KO'd Mirsad Bektic, TKO'd him, whatever you want to call it, and Emmett he's still in the damn thing. He's still doing it. After the loss to Stevens, a lot of people thought he was going to be on the out. Michael Johnson was piecing him up for 2 rounds and 2 rounds and 4 minutes before fucking Emmett landed that bomb and knocks him out. He's just TKO'd fucking Bektic with a jab and some ground and pound to the shoulder. He's doing fucking bits. And he's moving himself back up the rankings. And he's proving that he's still a name in the division. Now, what do you do with Emmett and what do you do with Bektic? Well, first of all, Bektic, you're now having to fight a guy below you. That's how this works. I wouldn't mind seeing a Mirsad Bektic versus Renato Moicano. That would be a good fight. And that could be on the main card of a fight night. I don't think it would be a co-main event, but it would be on the main card of a fight night. Mirsad Bektic versus Renato Moicano. I'd watch that fight. They're both coming off losses. Finished in the first round. I don't mind seeing that. That's okay to me. Cancel each other out, and then whoever loses out of those two has to risk their spot to a young, hungry up-and-comer. That's how things should work. If you lose 2 in a row, or in fucking Moicano's case, 3 in a row, you should have to fucking put up your spot for the stakes and risk losing it to some of these other guys coming up. Now, for Josh Emmett, and I'll look up the rankings real quick. For Josh Emmett, he's in a weird situation right now because a lot of the guys at the top, we kind of have an idea on who's going to fight who next. And Josh Emmett doesn't really fit into that equation. You kind of know that Ortega's a beat is kind of going to happen. You know, Volkanovski's probably going to get the next title shot. You kind of have these ideas of what's going to go on. Jose Aldo and Yair Rodriguez is the talk of what's going to happen as well. Or Jose Aldo versus Korean Zombie. Josh Emmett doesn't really insert himself into that equation of who's fighting who next. So, Josh Emmett will probably be ranked number 9. He'll move himself 1 spot up the rankings. And I'd say to him, he's probably going to have to either rematch Jeremy Stephens, which I don't think they'll do because, you know, Josh Emmett don't want that again. Like, I don't know if they do that. I feel like they just fought each other. And if you do the rematch now and Stephens wins, then you kind of just ruin it because they can't ever fight each other again. It wouldn't make sense. So I feel like they should save that rematch for a little bit later on, maybe. But Josh Emmett will be at number 9. I feel like I want to see him fight. I hear Calvin Kattar's fighting Jeremy Stephens at UFC Boston, which would be a good fight. So maybe we see Josh Emmett versus Shane Burgos. Josh Emmett versus Arnold Allen. One of these guys on a streak coming up the rankings. Or Josh Emmett versus Yair Rodriguez. Either one of these works for me. I'll be honest with you. There's good things for Josh Emmett. He had a good performance. Like, you can say all you want about this, like, anything that happened. It all was his chin had gone. Like, the excuses come after the fight. And trust me, I'm the one who created a lot of them. So, good job from Josh Emmett. Obviously, he's got some crack in his jab. Because Bektic, I haven't seen him hurt like that before. I mean, Bektic knows how to swing. And he knows how to take a shot. And obviously, he's been knocked out from Darren Elkins before. But that was a head kick that he didn't see coming. It was like, okay, you can get knocked out to that. But then, to be knocked out by a jab from Josh Emmett, I mean, Jesus. I don't know who I want to see Josh Emmett fight next. Shane Burgos. Good chin. Likes to stand and trade. Likes to throw combinations. It's probably a good matchup for him. Josh Emmett is a wrestler. Doesn't like to wrestle. So, Shane Burgos versus Josh Emmett sounds good for me. And then if Josh Emmett beats him, then we can start talking about him taking on a top 5 guy. Like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. Click that. Goodbye.